This is a trade recap for Thursday, March 10th, 2026. Continuing on with one and done. This was number 29 of 30, so second to last one in this first phase, and pretty happy with how this entire kind of experiment has gone, or this exercise has gone, and I'll probably do a separate video on kind of how it all went, go over the account chart and things like that in a separate video once it's over. But again, just proves day in, day out the power of having a good strategy, having a trade plan, but especially having a good coach and mentor. And if that is something you are looking for, whether you're a new trader or a struggling trader, I highly recommend Pat Mitchell over at Trick Trades. You can find his site at tricktrades.com. Here, I'll pull that up for you. Here we go. And give it a look over as to what Pat offers. The guidance and mentorship that he gives us on a daily basis is second to none out there, especially for the cost. And it's one of those things where if you're seriously trying this, you'd be a bit foolish to not take advantage of the things that he puts out there in terms of video lessons, the live lessons, the coaching, the mentorship, guidance. Again, it is a very, very wide range of different things that you will need to work on to truly be successful as a professional trader. And he is someone that can really provide you the tools and feedback to get where you want to go. And if you would like a taste of kind of what he throws out there in terms of information, you can always pop over to his YouTube page where he has over 1,700 videos at this point. Again, he's been doing this for over a decade. And that is just a testament to how powerful the strategy he developed is, how powerful, again, his coaching and mentorship is, and the number of traders he has trained. But yes, if you're looking for that coach, there is no one better than Pat Mitchell. So I highly recommend you check him out. And let's get into this morning's trading session. All right, so here's the recording of the live session. If you're new here, lay of the land. Daily charts here on the left. 1 minute intraday charts here in the middle, and order execution here on the right. We only trade SPY and Q, so you don't need to trade anything else, honestly. These blue levels that you see on the daily and on the 1 minute, these are the levels that Pat picks and builds a trade plan around for us. He starts the night before, and then he'll refine them in the pre-market planning phase. That way we see exactly, again, because sometimes you got to take into account where the market goes overnight. And then I add the risk levels myself because I like a visual cue for risk. So this is about 30 seconds before the open. As you can see, Q's been playing with this level here. It's currently opening up kind of basically on top of it, so there's not much you can do with that. You need distance. And then SPY's between these two levels, but kind of getting closer to that upper one. So I just got to wait to see how things play out and what gets triggered. So here we go. As you can see, there's some moving averages on Qs that we need to keep an eye on. There's one on a little bit above SPY's level that we also need to keep an eye on. Get everything kind of adjusted to where I want it. All right, here's the open. SPY comes up into its level. See how it kind of interacts. Go ahead and fire off that first one. Qs is above that level. So again, you got that weird kind of situation where one is above a technical level and one's below a technical level. So may not the strongest indication of direction straight out the gate. Now Qs does that have that level above it towards the pre-market high, and there's also a trend line there. SPY again is kind of moving up and kind of just playing around in and around that level. And again, if Qs potentially could have moved up higher and again caused me to stop out on SPY, but again, until it actually stops you out with confirmation, s- stick to the trade plan. And this is why trade plans exist. This is why discipline exists. Be a bit robotic about it. Keep your emotions out of this. So again, a little bit of reaction there. Again, sometimes you do have to wait. You have to be patient. And again, Q's is kind of not sure what it wants to do. Spies kind of waiting. We're kind of waiting on each other potentially. See which one starts moving first. There you go. Q's is now starting to move up. Spies trying to, but it doesn't really seem like it wants to. So at that point, it's gonna be a nice pop closer into that risk level for a nice ad. Maybe a little hesitant on that for a ad. Could have gotten a slightly better entry. Again, it's just little things, little tweaks you refine. Then kind of seeing again where the moving average is. So it might be more intelligent to then risk off the moving average as opposed to where I had that risk level set. So then you just kind of wait, see what happens. And that moving average is providing a little bit of pressure on SPY to help move it down. Q's just again still has some range to move up, but it does have some technical levels that are a little bit lower that it's currently trying to figure out what it wants to do with. And those are all apparent on the daily chart. And looks like SPY wants to potentially crack that level, which it does. So does averaged in. I'm going to pull one out, take a little bit of profit, and then holding the second to see a little bit more follow through. Q's has a bit to come down in terms of where it can find support. Again, just looking on where things again ranged pre-market, and that's all you got to do is again wait for it. Now, SPY's coming down into a pre-market kind of range, so took the second one off, and yeah, that was the trade. So go ahead and switch back over to the live charts. Let's see here, get zoomed in a little bit. So as you can see, uh, came up, started, pull up the entry chart, started in, corrected as it was coming up into the risk level, got the reaction, paid one, got follow through, paid the other into this range. Zoom in, move that over a little bit just so you can see it's one of those things where, yeah, again, came down, tried to come back up, would have been an opportunity potentially to add there. Probably would have liked it a little bit closer into the level. But then again, you get more follow through back down to this lower support, comes back up, kind of does the same thing, plays around with this range, and then can then moves lower again. So you don't be adding a ton here and there, like as it's constantly doing this thing. But again, it just shows you that there was a ton of opportunity there. And yeah, worked out very, very well. Not a whole lot of complications with this one. This was all fairly clean in terms of price action. Yeah, no, nothing super complicated about it this morning. Trying to think of any issues. No emotion issues. No discipline issues. None of that. Was all a very straightforward trading day, which again is kind of the purpose of this entire exercise and has been is okay, you're trading a certain size and you follow the strategy and the trade plan and you do that for a set period of time to see okay, with this size, is there any kind of like issue? Are you having emotional issues? Are you getting skittish? Again, are you being undisciplined? Help you again also refine your entries, exits, things like that. And because it's not just a singular contract, again, you want, I mean, you can technically do, I would say not 1 to 3, but 1 to 2. Again, to also practice, entering, adding, averaging, correcting, again, paying yourself when appropriate, when to rip size out of a trade. Usually want to do that first thing on that first reaction, and then leaving a small portion to potentially ride to a next level down kind of situation. Um, but again, that's one of those things you don't necessarily have to do that all off the hop. You can start very, very simply. And yeah, as it shows, as this exercise has shown, it's again, this is 29 of 30. I've had one singular red trade, and that trade has already been basically that loss has already been covered. Yeah, it's one of those things where this has been a very good exercise, shown a lot what can be achieved with some very, very basic stuff. And that's kind of the power of it. So tomorrow will be the last one in the first phase, and then the second phase starts. And again, we'll probably go over that in the review video as well and what I'm thinking. But all in all, good day, no real issues, which is what we want. That's the point of this. So, if you are looking for a high level coach and mentor, again, I highly recommend Pat Mitchell over at tricktrades.com. Down in the description, you'll find some links. One of those links is to the SizeUp webinar for the SizeUp program, which really helps you uh, learn how to trade appropriately. It's a very structured approach that Pat put together, and it does work, and it works wonders. There are also a couple links down there for memberships. If you're interested, it'll get you a discount on your first month. Check him out if you want to. Check out his YouTube channel. Check out the webpage. Look over the information and see if it is a right fit for you. It is education service, not an alert service. So understand what this is. You're here to learn how to trade, not shadow someone's trade. And it is well worth your time and effort if you're taking this seriously. That being said, that is all I have on this one. So we will see everyone tomorrow for number 30. Other than that, I hope everyone has a good day, and we will catch you later. Have a good one.